Hello and welcome everybody to round 9 of vrroom.org of the Cappuccino League. Eagerly anticipated. It's been a little while me getting this one up. This is round 9. It is last month's league, but nonetheless it needs to be shown. It was a cracking race. Can't wait to see it again. I can't remember what happened or anything, so I'm just going to go for it. I'm Dave Higgins. I'm doing the full race and anything else that goes with it, to be honest with you. If you've not listened to my YouTube channel before, please do tune in and subscribe using whatever device you're on. Press the button, that will be great. I'm here representing vrroom.org, so please do get down and check us out on the web for some good competitive action. You're about to see some really good racing by the best drivers out there on Gran Turismo 5. So without further ado, we're at Tsukuba International Circuit. Without further ado, I'm going to get on and we're going to have a look at what the trials and tribulations this circuit brings to the racing driver. Okay, so Tsukuba International Raceway in Japan. This is the 2000 circuit. I believe quite an old one, this. Quite an old circuit, so a lot of history here. We're on with Team Rosso Racing at the moment. Going to go around with VR DMJH in a moment when the screen comes on, and we'll look at the trials and tribulations. We're in the Cappuccino, supporting 137 brake horsepower. So here we go on the roof cam. So braking heavily into the first corner, steering as early as possible. The back wants to step out a little bit, that's alright, a bit of opposite lock, we'll sort that out. Plant the car well over to the left as you floor the pedal down the midsection through the left-right flick into the mid-hairpin, as I call it. So braking now, hard on the brakes, turning in, down about 2 or 3 gears, clipping the inside, plenty of camber there, it's a real neck snapper as you go round. Hard on the gas now, a little lift as you go under and flick under the Dunlop bridge, ignoring the old bit of the circuit to the right, sticking on the left, and then flicking back out to the right, pumping that gas pedal, getting as much power down as possible for the last heavy braking zone. Down a few gears, turn in, back steps out, steer into it slightly, hug the apex and then fly out to the left. Now, this is all about full speed down this section. You're just all about horsepower. Get your foot down and get as much speed out of the 137 brake horsepower Cappuccinos as you can. Into the last corner, backing off slightly, turning in very gently with the wheel, not screwing too much speed off, and as soon as you see the cones, plant the gas and out you go for one flying lap of Tsukuba. It's about 1 minute 3, 1 minute 2 a lap in these little Cappuccinos. Extremely fast, extremely competitive. Okay, time for a quick grid walk before we get to track and see the action. So, the competitors line up. On pole position, we have Alan, number 1 in the black and white car, supporting white alloys. Had a quite good start to his season, put some good performances in, to be fair. In second place, we've got Rayman, number 28, yellow alloys and yellow all-round appearance. This guy's very consistent, one of the veterans at vrroom.org. In third place, we have GHP supporting number 66 with red alloys and a pearlescent colour. Very, very good. Very, very fast guy, this one. In fourth place, we have Mad Dog McTaz lining up in the SVRT car. Supporting number 7 is in white and black with blue alloys. Mad Dog is a seasoned veteran again and scores very, very heavily usually in most races. Number 5, GT Shadow in the red car with the sort of pearlescent purple alloys. Number 23, looking very cool indeed. He's one to watch, ladies and gentlemen, in this race. Then on to P6, VR Badger, the first of the Team Rosso racing cars. Number 19, supporting the white alloys in the black and red colours of Team Rosso. Winner of round 3 this season. Straight on to their number 7 place, Whiskers. 64 in the gold car, looking very, very good. Some good performances from him this time round. We're looking for that. Now number 8, VR Race 42. The only guy that can make blue look good. So, round his car we go. He's had some very consistent performances and he's a seasoned veteran and a pro here at vrroom.org. Straight on to P number 9, JB Player, ex-champion. Very, very worth watching and a very good consistent racer. Nothing wrong with him whatsoever. Straight on to his teammate in Rosso Racing, number 21, VR DMJH. Also ex-champion here in the Cappuccinos. Currently heading up the table, so he's one to watch. Then following up in last place is Freddy Cat. Now this guy won the last race. He's in second place in the championship and he's certainly one to watch. So it's all to play for as we go into round 9. So here we go for the start of the race then. Alan, we're on board with in pole position. And it's a good clean start. Lots of wheel spin from Alan, but behind GHP has got an absolute stonker. He's really, really close to the back of Alan. We may see him going through into first place, but oh, the yellow car on the inside. Is that Rayman? A little bit of horn beeping as they go round, but it looks like Rayman has taken the lead. So on board with Rayman, fantastic round the first corner, all the cars jostling for position. A little bit of nudging and bumping in the background, a little bit of grass hopping by the looks of it from the likes of Badger and VR Raced in the background, but fantastic start from Rayman. Well done, very, very good. It might be worth replaying that start just from Rayman's perspective because it was such a good start. We're on board with him, he's in second place. Let's get on that roof cam. On the outside there we've got Alan, and of course he's got the advantage immediately as Rayman is on the inside line, and what we can't see in the middle is we've got GHP. I'll just flick to him on the middle, and it's three-way into the first corner. No contact at all, a little bit of horn beeping, but I'm not quite sure why, but no contact, and that was a fantastic start from Rayman. So very, very well played, Mr. Rayman, off into the lead. So round the mid-hairpin for the first time. The order is Rayman, GHP and Alan. VR Badger up into 4th, Mad Dog in the SVRT up into 5th. VR Race 42 is 6th, GT Shadow and VRDM are switching places in 7th and 8th. Whiskers still 9th, and in 10th is JB and Fred Cat right down the bottom. Now Freddy Cat we know has got clear pace round here, so has JB, so has DM, so they'll be looking to come through the field. But it is very, very difficult on this particular circuit because of how close it is really, the racing. You can't really get away and everyone just kind of falls in on top of each other. We'll be very lucky, I would have thought, ladies and gentlemen, to get out without a yellow flag on this race just because of how, you know, the weight of the guys, the faster guys coming through the back on the slower guys at the front. But Rayman in the meantime is pulling out a stonking lead, but we've got a little bit of a challenge there from GHP going up on the inside, and GHP is through into the lead. Surely he'll take that one anyhow, so superb overtake by GHP into that first corner on lap 2 off 15. So 15 laps here, ladies and gentlemen, about 1 minute, 3 seconds a lap. That's going to take about 16 minutes to complete the race, which is more than enough around Tsukuba. So following up now, heading the rest of the pack, we've got VR Badger, followed by Alan, who was having a very dreary start, unfortunately. He's falling down, maybe he'll be able to pick up his pace a little bit to match the boys at the front, but he's quite slow at the back there, unfortunately. But he might be able to still pick up some good points because he did start in pole position. Now hang on, have we had a yellow flag called already? Am I seeing things here? I've just got to check on that, just bear with me a second. Yes, we have yellow flags called. So there's obviously been an incident further down the field, potentially with Mad Dog and GT Shadow. So yeah, they're supporting damage, so I'm just going to click back and we're going to try to find out what happened there. So we're on board with Mad Dog on his roof cam, and he's had a little clip from, that looked like VR Badger, and he's come off, and then has he collected somebody else? Yep, there's a bang behind, and that looks like Mr. Whiskers. I don't think Whiskers could do much about that. He has got damage. We'll have to have another look on board just from the back of that pack. So we know that it was lost up front there by Zeus Whiskers and GT Shadow as well. There was a lot of people involved in that one, to be honest with you. Not really sure who's at fault, to be honest with you, but these things do happen around this circuit. One of them lost it, and then kind of all of them lost it, and it's very hard not to collect each other. So that's bad news for Shadow, McTaz, Freddy, and everyone at the back. So if we just go to the outside shot, what you'll find now, if we go to the front leaders, you'll see that because yellow flags are out, the protagonists will be sort of steering left and right very, very quickly. Now that's called scrubbing the tyres, and it generates heat into the tyre, and it's really what you need to do under yellow flag situations. For those of you who might be new to motorsport, that keeps tyre pressures up and keeps heat in the tyre, because of course cold tyre means you've got no grip from your rubber at all. Now the rules are here at VR Room is that if this happens, you can pit just to repair your car, which I suppose GT Shadow will be doing. Let's just have a look. Yeah, there's a load of them all coming into the pits. We've got JB Player. Oh no, he's still out, sorry. No, JB Player is in. We're following JB Player. We've got Fred Cat just ahead, Zeus Whiskers, Mad Dog, GT Shadow behind, so it's going to be a one massive big queue in the pits. So stay on board with the SVRT of Mad Dog as they get these pit stops done. Oops, and straight through goes GT Shadow on Mad Dog. For some reason, the pit action here doesn't have a pit crew. It's a bit weird. Maybe they're a bit of a phantom pit crew. But anyway, the guy's coming out now to rejoin. and they're all repaired. So the last person to leave the pits is GT Shadow, and there he goes exiting. All the cars are repaired. Now the marshals, what the marshal will do, the marshal for this room was Mr. Mustard himself. He will get all the cars, once the guys at the back have caught back up, he will get all the cars to punch back together and to get into what's called a train. And that basically means bumper to bumper almost, without bumping into each other. No overtaking, of course, because we're under yellows. And basically then GHP, the man we're watching here, will become the race pace car, effectively. Now, we will get given orders, or the race marshals will give orders to all the drivers to go on a certain corner, because they're all in radio communication with the marshal in the rooms, and there's 11 in this room plus Mustard, which is 12 altogether. They'll get radio communication from Mustard on which corner we're to go on, and for GHP to start backing the pack up. Now it looks like that's happening. People have been given the orders to stop weaving, so it's on GHP for the restart on lap 3 of 15, and away GHP goes. You can't go until the guy in front goes, and you cannot overtake until you cross the start-finish line. So there's the start-finish line where I go again at Tsukuba. The race is on. Challenging straight away behind, we've got Rayman. Onto the grass, we've got Alan and VR Badger getting shoved wide. A bit of horn beeping there. I think it's Alan doing the horn beeping. Not quite sure why. It looks to be fair enough from Badger. He's not the most heavy-handed of players, to be honest with you, Badger. He always kind of hangs back and sees what the crack is. And behind Badger, we'll be looking straight on board with... and at the side there, we've got DM at the side of race 42. So the two VRs running side by side. DM yielding slightly to that one, but he has got the inside line for the next braking zone. Will he make that stick? And he has. He's gone on the inside a little. Oh no! Raced avoided him very, very well there. Gave him a little bit of racing room. Slight off from, I think that's Fredcat in the background trying to follow DM. But again, VR Raced is not giving up on this one. He has now still got the outside line. DM has not got the slipstream. So we're watching a hell of a ding-donger here. And in the background, of course, we've got Fredcat and JB Player 1. And also we're missing side-by-side action here on the outside with Badger and Alan. Now Badger's surely going to get Alan up the inside here, I would have thought, into the first corner. He has very nicely, but Alan's trying to do the cutback, and now that's succeeded. So they're running side by side for positions 3 and 4. Off in the background, big off, DM off in the background. Something's happened there. And DM is going slowly and very quickly, down the field. He's off and he's got a big damage. We'll have to do a replay on that one, guys. I want to find out what happened there. So we'll go on board with DM's car. It's going round the outside of race 42. Race 42 giving him quite a lot of room there. Side by side as they go down the mid-straight. And, Race is put straight into him. Race has knocked him on the grass. And DM's struggling on the grass. It's been collected again, and his DM's in the barrier. It was like Race moved across and didn't know that he was there. Let's try and see that from Race's point of view. That was awful. He didn't know he was there by the looks of it. Let's just rewind, looking on the back of Race's car. That's DM on the right-hand side. So we're going round, DM's quite wide there on the right-hand side. So we're looking to the right-hand side of your screen, guys. There's DM on the right-hand side, and yeah, Race has moved across and DM's on the grass, struggling with grip, but he's come on and collected DM again. So a very unfortunate incident. I don't think by the looks of it that Mr. Race knew he was there, which is why he moved across, taking his racing line. So I'm sure they'll be having words later on in the paddock to try to sort that little one out. But that's very unfortunate. That's put DM right down the back of the field with damage. That's not going to help his title chances here at all. So incidents galore to open this one. Like I said, to be expected really, around such a tight twisted circuit. It always brings quite a lot of action. So GHP is still in the lead, followed by Rayman, doing a very, very close follow. We're going to see Rayman have a stab here. Let's go on the back, and Rayman is through on the inside, surely. Will Rayman do that? He hasn't. He's backed it off again. So round the outside, GHP has managed to make that stick. That's incredible stuff, ladies and gentlemen. In the background, we've got VR Badger, followed up by Alan. And Alan is holding fourth now, so he's got himself up to speed. That's really good to see. Although, having said that, he's drifted very, very wide there, and that's going to let JB play through on the inside. And Alan's off on the grass. Will he recover that one? He won't collect anyone, will he? He's nudged into the side of JB. He looks like he's struggling a little bit there in his White Sting helmet. Taking the inside of the corner, still being very defensive. And VR Race, it's worth noting, race 42 did pick up a little bit of damage from the second collision there, not the first one, when DM came back on track and kind of collected him. Now, these are swabbling like mad in the mid-pack. We're watching for places 5, 6, 7 and 8 here, so we've got Alan being nudged by JB, race 42, Freddy Cat, they're all falling over each other. This is absolutely amazing stuff to watch. But have you noticed, ladies and gentlemen, how clean everybody's trying to keep this? It's very, very difficult to race at such close quarters like this with so many cars on track at such a tiny circuit. Again, there goes the horn beep. I'm sure the marshals will have a little word with Alan about that. I believe it's in the rules, horn beeping can be seen as being a bit aggressive and really shouldn't happen in races. So I'm sure they'll have a word with him and sort that out. He is a newbie to vrroom.org, so I'm sure it won't be a massive telling off, but it'll certainly be a word to make sure that it doesn't happen, I would have thought. So race tight on the inside, Fredcat trying to push race. There's a lot of rubbing going off there between JB and Fredcat as well on the back of race. They're trying desperately to get past. Meantime, DM is still in 10th, struggling with that front end damage. It's front axle damage, left and right. Back on with GHP, still leading the race from Rayman, not far behind to be honest with you. And there's VR Badger catching up. We could see Badger sneak a little one in here. That'd be good if that happens. So let's go to live timing on lap 7 of 15. So we're halfway through the race. The fastest lap there at the moment is a 1:34.04, ladies and gentlemen, and that is from GHP, fastest guy on track. Second fastest is Rayman, and VR Badger 1:35.25. No, VR Badger has just become the second fastest on track, to be fair. Now the gap between the top 3 players is 2.7 seconds, and then there's another surplus gap back to 6 seconds to Alan. So it's looking like the top 3 that we're watching here are pulling away reasonably convincingly. So we'll just get on board with that. At the back there, you can see that it's a reasonable gap there. It's about 1 second, I think, at that last count to Rayman, and probably about the same to Badger. They're all in the same screenshot. And then if we go back to the outside shot to Alan, and there's a hell of a lot of pressure here in the mid-pack. 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 all racing ding-donging down into the bottom corner. Now I've just got a feeling this may end in disaster, to be honest with you, because they're so close to each other in such close proximity. And we've already seen the mistake from Race and DM collecting each other and taking each other off. It wouldn't surprise me if we see something else here. I hope we don't, but we might do. And by God, that's close. And is that's JB just pushed his way through a little bit aggressive, a bit like that VTCC driver. What's he called? Plato, my mate Plato. That's the guy. So they're through now, and Alan's down to 7th. I think Alan was maybe punching above his weight a little bit there in terms of lap times, which is why there was that concertina effect and all the quicker guys behind. I can certainly say that for JB and Freddie, seeing as they were on the podium on the last race. But of course, the rest of them are no slouches either. Not to say I'm sniffing anything at Alan, but he wasn't quite up to speed, I don't think, around this particular circuit. But he's still racing as fairly and cleanly as he can, which is great to see. And I'm sure we'll see much more from him in future events here at VR Room. Now, it's worth mentioning, just while we're watching this close action on track, there's a lot going off at VR Room at the moment, including 4 leagues and 4 race days. We've got VR Heat events up. There's all kinds of new stuff happening, including as well, if you check out the Twitter feed @_DigitalDave, you will see the latest video from Janobi, one of the veterans here. He's put up the Honda Civic touring car race, one of the first rounds run at Montegui Road Course, I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but that's a hell of a good watch and a hell of a good race. So I recommend that you get down and have a look at that. Now, pits, we've got the pits. That's Zeus Whiskers in the gold colour car, number 64. Looks like, quite frankly, he's had enough of that. I think he's out and he's got to go get his McDonald's by the looks of it. So great shame for Whiskers. Not quite sure what happens, but obviously he's felt that race isn't for him and isn't for the winning. Now, in the meantime, Badger is catching slightly on Rayman up ahead, as you can see on the roof cam there, and you can see the leader GHP, but the gaps don't appear to be closing, and they won't really, because these guys are doing almost practically identical lap times, and you're not going to catch doing that, not even if you're 1 or 2 tenths fast around here, unless you're super consistent. But with 5 laps left, I don't think that's going to happen. So unless anything does happen, we're going to see GHP winning, Rayman in second, and VR Badger, this guy here, doing a brilliantly good job, like I said, on the grid walk this season for Team Rosso Racing. So we're going to see them 1, 2, 3 unless there's a mistake, but you never know, that can happen. You get a wheel wrong here and you're off. So let's go back to JB and Fredcat. They have pulled out now from the pack behind because they were the first to make the break. very, very close stuff as we see them coming round the mid-hairpin, one of my favourite corners on the circuit. Fred Cat giving a little tap to the back of JB there, but that won't bother him. JB, the seasoned veteran, an ex-champion that he is, he'll just take that in his stride, to be honest with you. He'll be as defensive as he needs to be just to stop Fred Cat coming through. But Fred Cat really has balls of steel, and he's clearly quick. He's one to watch for this championship, guys. He's certainly someone that I'm tipping. So trying to tuck in on the slipstream. You can see JB going immediately defensive to the inside of the circuit. The only way around is on the outside, but Freddy Cat is going for it. Good luck to you, Felix. It's very hard to go around the outside at the last corner at Tsukuba. And I didn't think he'd do it, to be honest with you. But crucially, he's trying to grab the inside line. But again, look at JB just cutting him off. Woohoo! Just cutting him off as sharp as anything there. And that stopped Fred Cat going up the inside and made him go wide. So that was a very late bit of defensive driving, but a fair bit of defensive driving, it has to be said. So well played, boys. That's nice and close. Very, very close. They're really going hammer and tongs at it. But I think in the background you'll see McTaz and VR Raced in the blue car doing exactly the same thing. So 42 race from 7, the SVRT of McTaz. The only SVRT running here. I don't quite know what happened to McSheepy. Obviously couldn't make the race for whatever reason, which is a great shame. It's always a shame when drivers can't attend sessions and can't attend leagues, but we all have our reasons for it now and again. So going down the back straight then, towards the final corner, we've got Race, Mad Dog and DM. That's DM behind Mad Dog. Now DM has made an attacking move there on Alan and GT Shadow. So we're on board with DM on the roof cam. He's not coming to pit, he's still supporting that damage, but he's looking like he wants to get up into at least sort of 5th position maybe. Oh no, I don't think he can get 5th by the looks of that. He may be able to nab these two. We've got 2 laps left, but of course the stricken car there won't be helping him. Although he's showing damage on both front axles, that will slow the car down a little bit, but it will neutral up the handling, so it won't handle like a pig. It'll be a little bit easier. Now these two battling up ahead, that's going to help DM incredibly well, because whilst VR Raced and Mad Dog are falling all over each other, VR DM is going to be on it, and he'll want to score as many points as he can here. So we could see a bit of a dive out of desperation from DM to try to get back into a reasonable point scoring position. So round the bottom hairpin for the next to penultimate time. We're on board with race 42 and Mad Dog McTaz, who is again not giving up, right behind him. Let's just check with the leaders. They're still spread out, the leaders. So it's from Rayman, from VR Badger, from Fred Cat going off and still having a hell of a ding-dong with JB. We'll have to come back to that one for a moment in time. So on the inside, we've got Freddy Cat seemingly getting JB, but JB trying for the cutback. This is going to be good stuff down to the bottom hairpin. One of them will have to try to outbrake the other. We're on the penultimate lap, ladies and gentlemen. There's about 1.5 minutes separating these guys from 4th or 5th position. And through on the inside, superb outbreak there is JB, but Freddy Cat got him straight back because JB outbraked himself. So very, very close. And if we go to the background, we've got race 42, McTaz in the SPRT and DM all tied up. This is going to be a humdinger of a finish here. We may see some collisions, to be honest with you, because it's so close, and as you get to start seeing red mist when it comes to the last lap, you really want to get those points. But VR Race seems to have pulled out a little bit of a gap. But then again, look at the drive that Mad Dog McTaz is getting, and the SVRT has really got that engine tuned up very, very well, and he's on the outside. Now DM's going to get a double slipstream on this one. So back on with JB and Freddy Cat as they come round the start-finish straight for the last time, lap 15 off 15. JB going defensive on the inside line. VR Race is defensive again with DM. DM has got Mad Dog McTaz, so DM tight up behind VR Race 42 on the last lap. Now will we see a bit of a move? Let's have a look, ladies and gentlemen. Now VR Race will have to plant it very defensive on the left if he's going to stop DM doing any kind of a dive here, and he hasn't, and DM's gone for a dive, a very, very rough dive. It has to be said, very, very late on the brakes there from DM, but obviously a lot of frustration kicking in from the previous contact that he had with VR Race. But they're still side by side under the Dunlop Bridge, going down into the bottom corner, and a little bit more of a nudge there, sort of a rub from the side of DM onto VR Race. And DM's contacted his DM off. No, DM's managed to hold that only just. I don't know whether he was clear of the front of the car there. He must have thought he was clear as he pulled across. So going back, we're going to see, crossing the line, a fantastic win from GHP, well done, followed by Rayman in second, followed by VR, followed by JB, only just from Freddy Cat, and followed by VR DMJH and VR Raced and Mad Dog. And following up the back, we've got GT Shadow and then Alan coming round, picking up a point in 10th place. So, maiden win for GHP. It's a shame he didn't get much airtime because he was out by himself, but well done, congratulations. That's a major, a maiden VRroom.org victory for number 66, GHP. Incredibly good drive from start to finish, led the race from start to finish. Well played, very, very well played. So on the podium is GHP, Rayman and VR Badger. I've been Dave Higgins, thank you very much for watching. Sorry about the lateness of getting this up, and I'll see you all again soon.